Good morning, gang. See more people time. And guess what? It's going to be with the great man, Richard Toutounji. He's the CEO of Com Marketing. And Com does everything via marketing digitally. They make websites, they do videos, and they're experts in actually having people engage on social media. And just before we popped on, I was just saying how, look, I'm very, very 101 on Facebook, but I'm completely barren as far as Instagram is concerned. And I know it's a really big platform that a lot of people in, let's say, the health and fitness industry does very, very well in. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive in how to get Instagram to grow your business. So welcome, Richard. Thanks for helping us.
Hey, good to have everybody here, and welcome to 2021.
2021, who would have thought? And but social media is continually to change. Algorithms changing. I've been told that they're going to be changing again shortly, and we've got to keep up to speed. And having experts like yourself helping people make the most out of every opportunity. So, how do you think Instagram differs from the good old Facebook and LinkedIn?
Yeah, well, good thoughts. You know, Steve, if I could just sidestep that question, for example, like just over the Christmas break, there was a new platform that came up called Clubhouse, and it was like an invitation only kind of thing to be on. It's like an audio platform, and you know, you're right. Everything changes all the time, and there's all these new platforms that always keep coming up all the time, and you kind of got to be understanding, well, where should you put your time? You mentioned the fitness industry, and we work a lot within the fitness industry, as you know, and people may or may not know on this call, but at the end of the day, you do have to work the platforms that are going to work for you. So my example about Clubhouse, yeah, it's an early platform, but again, it is about putting the right time in the right devices to use. And I'm consistently always, going, loving Facebook and hating Facebook and Instagram, and you've got to find the thing that works for you. Most importantly, I think this is where 2021 is going to be. People at this stage of the game, Steve, they're not new to social platforms. But I think the one thing that we've got to think about when we're using Instagram and even Facebook is we've got to think about timing of things. And this is a big lesson for me because it's all about timing, and it's all about relevancy in the marketplace at the moment. Over the break of December, you'll see a lot of people not posting their regular business stuff, and then you might see some more, holiday or family shots and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is, it's about relevancy. Because when you use these platforms combined with, say, a sales system or any ads that you're running on the platforms, you've sort of got to understand what the outcome of the platform is. So I guess for me, how I use Instagram and how we use Instagram is that it is a platform that, if you look at age demographic, that in the fitness industry, you've got Snapchat, and that's for a younger demographic generally. And you got Facebook for maybe an older demographic, and Instagram is still a platform that sits in the middle. So it's a relatively great place to have your business on. And like anything, Steve, these platforms are free to use, right? And when things are free to use, it does require time to use it. So it means then you've got to understand how to use the platform well, because I think in 2021, we don't have a problem with, where to put our business. It's just about making sure there's relevance in this platform. So the reason why Instagram is so good, because it gives us relevance around images and pictures, and I think it's a better platform than Facebook to do that to a degree, because you can be, you can say a million things in a picture. So I like Instagram, but I can take you through some hacks that I think are good, simple process to use if you haven't used Instagram or you're struggling with Instagram.
You think Instagram compared to Facebook, where let's put it in perspective. You said that an image paints a thousand words, which is spot on. So is it easier to use Instagram because you don't have to do tons and tons of copy? And secondly, because Facebook algorithm is quite particular in what you can and can't say, and you get your ad popped down or your post taken down and so forth. Is Instagram a little bit simpler to utilize? And I know stories is a big thing on Instagram because it's more picture centric.
Yeah, Listen, I mean, Instagram's owned by Facebook, so you're going to have the same ad issues if you're running your Instagram ads. But it's just a different platform, and I think people use it for a different platform. Facebook has a lot of ads, and there's a lot of things going on. Instagram's a feed that goes up and down, and it's relatively simple. If we go Facebook 10 years ago, I think Instagram's keeps it simple. So that's the reason why it's, I would generally go on Instagram more than Facebook. It's just, I guess, preference, but it's not about preference for you. It's about preference for where your clients are. And I think if you're going to use Facebook, you've got to use Instagram. These are the two stock standard platforms that everybody should be using. I mean, over the break, I was speaking to a few business people that are on platforms and doing advertising, and they just said that, Facebook algorithms went down. Well, not went down. They changed a lot of the devices with the new iOS platform on the Apple phone. So you have to actually opt in for ads. So there's a massive changes happening on Facebook. But what someone did say was that the brand awareness on Instagram stories really helped them to consistently close leads and close sales due to the fact that people understood who they were, what they were about. Before, they were just posting like business stuff, but then they started to post more real images, real people, and of course they started to get better clientele. So why should we use Instagram? And maybe is the question here. We need to use Instagram because, again, if you're going to make a sale to somebody, people buy from people, as we know. And to do that, we need to ensure that we promote ourselves as the person that we are, and the brand that we are as well. So totally up to you. If you want to sort of crush 2021, Instagram's a great platform to do that.
Oh, terrific. Well, that's good to start with because a lot of people have that. Well, am I Instagram? And I think it's, or Facebook. And I think it's a good idea to say, well, where are our clients? Where are our clients hanging out? Not what do you prefer to use? So over to you, Maestro. What's some of the nuts we need to get cracking on with to make sure that I think the first point was how to create a feed that's on brand and attracts the right clients on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think, we can just skip over a few things that we need to do. So I think the most important thing, what I'd like to do is, I also like to show this slide that Instagram's got 1 billion monthly active users. It's more now. But again, it's a growing platform that continues to grow. So there's 3 ways we can share content: the IG feed, Instagram feed, the Instagram story, and the IGTV, okay? So Instagram feed is the main feed, which I'll show you in a second. That's probably what you see when you go to someone's account. You'll see that, and I might sort of share a live feed as well today. And then you've got Instagram stories, which you mentioned before, Steve. That's the story, and it's very, very relative right now, stories. In fact, I know we're talking about Facebook, but you can connect your Instagram story up, your Instagram story account up with your Facebook story. We were talking about that actually before the break, Steve.
That's right. You told me my Spark camera, and I've been playing around with it. I'm not very good on it at the moment.
But Instagram Stories is a great platform. I got a massive reach on Facebook Stories compared to IG Stories, but IG Stories are easy to use. And so Facebook's there too. And IGTV, that's for longer kind of format shows. So if you got a 5 or 10 or 20-minute clip, IGTV kind of works like YouTube. Actually, I don't know what the time limit. I don't think there is a time limit, but I could be wrong on that. So that's a longer kind of episode there. So that's the 3 ways you can use IGTV. My personal favorite is stories, because I find it really easy to do stories compared to doing a feed, writing the posts, all those kind of things. But it's really what you love to use on Instagram. So sometimes you can start with maybe the feed and you go to story and vice versa, and then you can get the master of all those. But what we'll talk about right now, let's talk about the brand first. I think that's a kind of a good place to start. IG brand. In com marketing, we're all about brand equity. I mean, at the end of the day, Instagram will or may not be around. Who knows? But at the end of the day, the one thing that's always going to be around, Steve, which I always say, is that your brand's going to be around. Either your name is going to be around, or your brand's going to be around. I went shopping yesterday, Steve, and I bought myself a pair of Nike shoes. And I went to this Nike factory outlet, right? And it's like, well, why did I go to the Nike factory outlet for? I went because of the brand. And then when I went to the store yesterday, it was a factory outlet. So there was a lot of sales, Steve, you know what I mean? So I got a pair of $250 shoes reduced to $70. Now, did I buy it from Instagram? Did I buy it from Facebook? Did I buy it because there was a store there? I bought it from brand equity. So the reason why, if you're going to use Instagram, it doesn't matter kind of what you put on the feed to a degree, as long as you're getting attention and relevancy in the marketplace. What we want to know is that if they like or don't like your stuff, it's going to come back from the brand. And then the person's going to make a decision, well, am I going to invest in this brand or not? That's the most important thing. I had a new follower that joined me on Instagram. She was a perfect client for me. She was a kind of a personal trainer wanting to go into a studio. And I kind of seen her a long time ago. She popped up my newsfeed. She friended me. I friended back. And she was following me for probably a month. I didn't really talk to her on the feed or the messaging or anything like that. She was liking some stuff, that kind of stuff. And then my sales team, Ainsley, just told me yesterday that she bought a program of us. And if I didn't have the brand, she wouldn't have been able to buy anything. She would have just been following me and we would have had a fun following engagement. But when you have a business team, you've got a brand. And so IG, Instagram, Facebook, these are ways that you can put your brand out in the marketplace. So if you like it or you don't like it, at the end of the day, we need to get your brand out there. So then when people make that buying decision, they know that you're trustworthy, and then you're out there most importantly. Maybe 5-10 years ago, I would have had this talk and people, but now if you don't have IGTV, it's Instagram, I should say, it's like, well, are you trustworthy to a degree? So we need to make sure that we are trustworthy going down this path. I just wanted to screenshot a few things that we should look out for, just to make sure everybody's got their stock standard stuff before we get started. So this is like making sure your base is here. So when you go to your feed here, this is your description. You'll realize that you got a few things. Number one, this is for a company or personal. So if you're a personal, you want to have a strong image of yourself. And Steve, you were taking your personal, you can have your background because the colors, they represent you. So if you're kind of like a trainer or someone who's more independent consultant, have kind of brand equity behind me. So I've got the brand at the back. You could have that and my picture. So people know that it's brand equity. Make sure you have a business description. So we go marketing, education, health, wellness, fitness pros to double their income. Register for our next new online marketing event. Now, there's always a call to action. I always say, make sure you have a call to action. This is really important. It could be like direct message me for more information. It could be send them to something direct. Now we've got a Linktree site there, but again, if you're going strong on sales, I would have a direct link to your sales page or your next information page or an opt-in page or something that's a one process that way. If you're a localized business, make sure you put your address, your details. That's really important because you'll also be found locally that way. And you can see here the Instagram stories and highlights, which we can go through. You can customize these around, and I'll take you through more in a little bit about that. And then obviously the quality content. And so just make sure those basics are in place before you do anything. The URL can always change. So remember, you don't have to have it there sitting there for like 10 years. If you've got something you're promoting, go to the edit section and just change the URL as you see fit. So if you've got a sale coming up or an open day, I'd be changing that relevancy to what you're talking about in the newsfeed or on Facebook, or what your banner ads are saying. Or, if you're doing external marketing on a billboard, and they're targeting something, make sure that's connected as well. So use the platform. If people see you, in any kind of media, they might grab your name and they'll go here and then they can get to your offer that way. So that's the stock standard thing. Make sure everybody does that. If that makes sense, Steve.
So on the URL front, someone's got an offer. It's on their website. They can click here to book an appointment or get let's say the bit for free or the add-on. Does that mean we go to the website or wherever the landing page is and copy that and change the URL so it sends it to the different landing page, so it doesn't go just to the website all the time?
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly what it means. You can send it exactly where you want to send it to, and that works really well that way. So yeah, just copy that URL and just move it across.
Because sometimes I find that it's just when people just click the same thing, and I think this is a really big point that everyone should make sure you write this down. If you go on social media, And especially on, let's say, Instagram, which, as I said, Rich is the expert. But the thing about URL is quite critical, because if you've got a landing page and you've got an offer, just a normal opt-in, that's fine. But you might have a book, a call with you, or it might be click here now for the extra. So you've got a different URL on your website, or if you just got a landing page. A lot of people don't do that, Richard, and I think it's good that you brought that up.
Yeah, I just want to show you a real live example. This is my Instagram current. It's on a screenshot, and you can see there I've got on a mission to get health and fitness wellness studios for $500,000. Come join us, and I've got a direct URL there. So I might want to change that depending if I've got a different offer. And so everything that I do, I know that hopefully somewhere the universe will say, well, if I do good socials, if I do good posting, if I do good stories, and I get someone's attention, they go, who's this guy? What does he do? Well, then they're going to then go back and say, okay, let me just read his profile that way. That's generally how it works. You know, a newspaper. What happens in a newspaper, Steve? We read the headline and we read the copy, and if we like it, then we have the details. It's the same conversation here. It's like, if you get good content out and they like it, they're going to go for more information. And so they click the button here, and that takes them to a page that I have set up here, and it's a video here, and they can access the free training, and I get their email address here. So the reason why I want to show you this is because name, email, and phone number. Now, if you're running on Facebook, right, sometimes a lead can cost you up to, you know, for let's say a gym, that might cost you $10 or $20 a lead. You know what I mean? For a consulting business, that costs you up to, you know, a couple $100 for a lead. Do you know what I mean? So what we're doing here is that if I can do a good post and they can click on that, guess what? I've saved myself, could be hundreds of dollars to generate a lead if I just have that relevancy here. And a lot of people I don't see do that. They just, you know, yes, awareness is great, guys. But at the end of the day is that, you know, if we can start tracking and saying, well, I did this story and I got this many insights, this much insights, and I got clicks to here. I mean, that's what it's about, right? It's about getting converting into a sale.
So if we look at that screenshot that you've got there, and you got clients, interview, quick wins, and so forth, where would they click to go to that specific URL? Is it actually embedded in there? Where would they click? Would they click on interviews?
Yeah.
Would they click on
Yeah,
games?
so let's say, no, so any shot here with Instagram, there's no way you can put links. So in here, I could say, click on the link in my URL. That's kind of what the wording is on Instagram.
Okay, right.
And then they'll go back to the URL and they'd click that link. So there's nowhere you can actually put any links on Instagram, which is the great thing. You can only put @. So this is me over Christmas. I added, who did I add here? I didn't add anybody. I just had some thoughts. And so if they do anything, then from there, it goes then to this link here. There's only one link you can choose on Instagram. So it's kind of easy for people to do, right? It's like, well, there's not confusion here. It's just like, where do you want to take somebody?
Terrific. Well, that's great, guys. I mean,
website, landing page, YouTube, very simple.
Love it. Well, this is terrific because it's showing that it can reduce the costs, but increase your leads. I mean, that's almost the holy grail.
You there, Steve?
Yeah, I'm here, mate.
Awesome. I think you broke up for a second. Yeah, reduce the cost, Steve. Save some money. So that's number one. Let me just go back to that, and you can see I'll go show you some different examples. This is a personal trainer, and you can see she's got themes here. Okay, so now we're talking about themes, and you can see that you've got quotes. Quotes are very good on Instagram. They're the greens. In the middle, she's got nutrition, and on the other side, she's got interviews and fitness and that. So if you've got a theme in your business, and you could be, let's say you're a real estate agent, and a real estate agent, they might do commercial real estate, they might do holiday real estate, and they might do normal real estate, consumer real estate. And so you might have a row of commercial, lifestyle, and general real estate. And so what you want to be doing is you can choose themes to represent what you actually do, instead of just thinking, oh, what should I post on my theme? And this is something that's helped me over the time. This is my wife, Joey, and one of our companies, Meet Your Personal Trainer. Joey's got themes, black and white, and themes aren't going to necessarily get you more business, Steve. But what it's going to do, we're talking about brand equity right now. What it's going to do, it's going to make sure that you look the way that your brand wants to look, okay? And so if you're professional, you can look professional. If you're messy, you can look messy. If you're happy, you can look happy. So it's just choosing a theme to make things really easy for you. And once you choose a theme, you can pretty much then start working around the theme. So it's the same concept as like, Motivation Monday, Tacky Tuesday or Funny Tuesday or whatever it needs to be. You're literally just choosing a theme. And so then you can start not thinking about what to post, but just trying to find the right images or the right stories to represent what you need to represent. So you just need to choose a theme, and then you can work with the theme that way.
I noticed that what you have there is one is Meet Your Personal Trainer. The other one is Feel Good Joey. All of a sudden, I've noticed it's got a theme, but it's also got a look. So one is a bit more blocky. It's got blue and white. The other one's black and white. And as soon as you start seeing that regularly, the brain actually will lock onto the let's say the image, the way it looks, but also the colors. So as soon as they see that on Instagram, they'll think instantly, oh, that's Meet Your Personal Trainer, or that's from Joey. And that's very clever, having just the text and the colors that just maybe are reversed, and then have the image instead of just bombarding it with images. It's easier to read, and I must say it's more engaging as well. Just a sea of pictures sometimes becomes quite boring. So I think that's really clever, guys. Image and a theme. I think that's terrific. Good.
Yeah, quotes just work quite well on Instagram. So they just work quite well on Instagram in that way. That's the reason why they're. So really, that's kind of like the basic branding. If you can, and we're always changing our style and our branding and things like that. And you can just decide. It's a very creative kind of outlet you can do. You can look at some people that you like and say, yep, I like that kind of style. And you can go with that theme for a while, and then you can change it up if you want to. But it just keeps things. And again, you don't have to have a theme. It's not like if you don't have a theme, things aren't going to go well for you. It's not the case at all. It used to be, but right now it's about, it's like anything in your business. You're going to have things in order, and you're going to have to sign the right place and things like that. So I just think it's easy for people to have a theme instead of not having a theme, because then there's a lot of misconfusion and people don't post because they don't know what to post. Don't overthink this. Just get it going.
So is this the way to get engagement up? Because it's with all the posts and so forth, they could look good, they could have the theme and all the other stuff, but I think you said it earlier, it's brand equity is one of the things, but it's getting people to take action. So what's some of the tricks of the trade on Instagram for people to click that URL to take you to that landing page?
Cool. Totally. Okay. So what we might do then, let's talk about some stories, and then we'll talk about how to get more engagement in your stories, and then people to click that button. Okay. That will be the best and easiest thing that way. So let me just skip a few slides here and just show you straight to the stories, because I think this will help. I mean, this is something you can do straight away. So let's get to that, and I think we'll get to there. I'm just sharing my screen here. Okay. Okay, cool. I can see my screen there. So basically, Instagram stories. Let's just go straight to that. I think this is the fastest way to kind of get things rolling for you and your brand, even if you don't want to post on the feed. So stories are available 24 hours, okay? So it's like a newspaper, 24 hours, they're gone. They're top of the feed, top of mind. So every 24 hours, if you have, kind of content there, you'll always become in somebody's news feed at the top. You can post videos or images. Instagram stories, that's just there. You can be creative with your stories. You can do storytelling. Storytelling is a really big one. It's something that it's one of the things that this year I really want to be much better at, storytelling. And you can be consistent, post regularly. You can ask questions and polls and make them feel invested in your stories. And this is the key to get them to do actions, you know what I mean? Create Instagram stories, ads, 15-second videos. So, okay, ways to get better engagement in your stories and get people clicking and doing what you want to do. Number one is location. This is a really simple one, guys. So anybody can do this. The next time you're at a local coffee shop or gym or whatever you do in your day, right? The easiest thing to do is you can do a little story and you can tag them in your story. You can go at this coffee shop. Now, when you do that, what happens is that people can see if they search that location, they can see that you're the person around there. So if you're brand new to an area, let's say I'm in Surface at the moment, Surface Paradise at the moment, and I wanted to get to know some clients up here, I will go to a coffee shop and I would tag the coffee shop in. I'd say, hey, great coffee at, and guess what? They would kind of just share it again. So they would say, I'm here, which I can show you how to do in a second. We can do some live stuff. So stories are searchable location, leverage with location tags, and I'll show you how to do this stuff. And you can see there's one of the location tags. And the next screenshot there is literally see location. You can see that there, and then you can find the location that way. So that's a big way. And the other day I was at a zoo with my son, and I remember years ago I used the hashtag, and I'm talking about hashtag, so koala, and I tagged myself into the zoo. And I got a lot of people viewing that story because people search things like that, animals and all that kind of stuff. So your locational search is important, and that's going to get you seen in the places that you need to be seen. Don't think of Instagram as like, oh, I've got my 100 friends or 200 friends. Think of Instagram as a place where every time you post or do a story, how can you tell people that I'm here and I'm open for business? And locations is a great way to do that. It's a simple way to do that and takes like literally half a second to do that. So that's number one.
So that first picture there with the green at the top there, it's that saying that's the location. Is that right?
That is the location. When I click on that, you see location, and then you can see all the posts from that location there.
Right. And the second one is that the same type of thing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's just when you click on it, it will say see location, and then so all the recent and the top posts come up that way.
Right, and then that's what actually comes up. It shows where you are and some other pictures that have come up. Now, would those have been pictures that you had taken of other locations, or is that of
no? So that's everybody. That's everybody, Steve. So all pictures of anybody that's taken that location comes up, and I can give you some examples right now. We can go live in a second, and I can show you some of that stuff. But yeah, it's all locations.
That's good for the business too, because if people keep saying, I was here, all of a sudden it's going to show social proof, isn't it?
Exactly. Yep, exactly right. So I'll give you an example. Let me just pull one up. I was at the gym called World Gym. World Gym. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll just show you a real live example that I did the other day. See if it's there. Okay, so I was at World Gym Surface the other day, and I did a story the other day, and I noticed they reshared my story. So I would go here. So let's see, World Gym Surface. And so there's a 3 tab. So that's their one. That's their IGTV, and that's when other people post about them. So I didn't do a post, but if I went here, I literally could see this guy here, and I can now see his profile. You see, I wouldn't have known who this guy was if I didn't go to World Gym. So he's a trainer in World Gym. So this person here, you can see that's Charlotte Doris there. You can see this one here is Bodstrad Fitness. Charlotte Doris. So you can see these, they're probably trainers, right? That go there, and you can start to see, and then you can start to follow them. So this is a way where if you're new to a place, you're going to start to see who's the top recent post that way. Okay. That's how it would generally work in regards to that. Does that make sense?
That's terrific. Wow. It's as you said, it's very picture centric and so forth. Not a lot of posting, but it actually shows very quickly who the person is and what they do. Yeah,
this is a story that I posted, and it was a story, so it wasn't a feed. And I tagged World Gym in the other day, and they mentioned me in their story, so they reposted that into their story here. So I'll show you how a story works since we're on that topic. So let's say this is my Instagram account, and just go back to the home. So this is my story, and I want to add a story into that. I hit this button here. I'm going to go story, and I'm going to go, I'll just write something, Steve, because I haven't got an image right now. So I'll just change, I hate that color. So let me just go back there a second. Live. I'll say back into it on my live session with. Now, what I'm going to do here is, I know that you've got a handle called impact training. So I've just got impact training, right?
Yep.
So now when I post that, what's going to happen? That's going to come up as yours thing. Now, what generally happens 90% of the time is, if I at you, you're generally going to share it. Okay. Now, you would share it better if there was a picture on here, Steve, and you would share it better if I said, like if I kind of said, I could even say follow you or that kind of stuff. So I gave some value, people would want to see it that way. So it's generally, if I make you look good, you'll share it. That's just human nature, because you want to have that proof. Everybody does. And people need content to keep coming out. And so if you're a gym or a coffee shop, you don't need to create content. If people are creating your content for you, you're good to go pretty much. Does that make sense?
You're explaining this brilliantly, Richard. Many people can't explain this sort of stuff. They get into the technical stuff. You're making it really easy to understand. And guys, Richard won't say this, but I'm going to just throw it out there. This is what Richard teaches in Ninjas. And he's got an awesome program, which runs online, also face-to-face, depending on where you are. And he teaches all these different skill sets, and you can pick what's best for you. So look, Richard also does a marketing muscle up. Why don't you click the link at the end of this video and connect with Richard, get on Instagram and start following him. But I would strongly recommend, if you want to learn how to do this properly, go to people that really know what to do. Evelyn and his team are really outstanding. So Richard, you're just making it sound so doable. And I love the way you're showing a practical component today, because a lot of people hear a lot of words, but as you know, we learn by using all the senses. So this is outstanding.
And I'm in Surfers Paradise now, so I'm just going to tag that. So then what we can do, we can mention Darren. There he is. I can say Darren here. I could put Darren in there too. We could put a time limit there. Yep, time. I'm just using this hashtag, and we could ask a question. So this is how we get interaction. We could say, who likes Instagram, right? And people can answer that question then now, right?
So they can type it in on that actual image. They can actually type that in.
Exactly, yeah. We can put some music if we want. Right? So now I've got music going. Oh, we'll shut that music up, sorry. Oh, let me try and stop that. Okay, that's stopped. Stop.
This is terrific.
Okay, so you got the message there. There's a lot you can do here.
Yes.
And a lot of the time you've just got to play around with that. And so it's really like, I'm on my iPad, but I could take a picture here, and I could literally take a picture, and then I could add those guys in. I'll do this. And then you can just put that in the story, and we're good to go. So you've just got to be creative with what you want to do, really. And then that's how you're going to get interaction. Now, a question is really good. And I'll just do that on my Instagram here. So I'll just do this on my phone. And I'll do a story. So I just took a picture of you guys there. And talk about storytelling for a second. So I'll just say back on training with at impact. I just shared that, and you'll see that in Instagram. So if I just go to, I want to talk about storytelling for a second. Now, I'm in Surface at the moment, and sometimes I just don't like to post, but storytelling is about, you've got to kind of do things in a way where it hooks people in. So every story's got to hook somebody in. Now, I'm not doing these stories, but when I have a bit more time, I don't mind doing a story because I can think a bit more. But I'll just show you a very quick example, and I didn't finish the story. So about to jump, right? Now, what I should have probably done is I can do a picture before, about to jump. So I'm trying to be dynamic. But this one here, first time you realize how good looking you are, love at first sight. So what I like to do now, and I'm just pausing it, by the way, when you put your finger down on a story, it pauses, right? What I like to do is I like to capture someone's attention. Now, I can guarantee you that most people will continue to watch the next story, Steve. Why? Curiosity, right? Oh, this guy loves himself. Oh, what's going on here? All these things that go people through your head, right? And so what you want to do is you want to think about every story as a newspaper, and it's like, okay, this is the next story, and so this is the next post I did, right? And I did this filming. I was in a store, and I did it this morning, right? Cool. And that's my next picture, right? So
that's cute.
So basically, I'm not selling anything here, but what we're doing is and now I've got music on this one, actually. I put some music on that one. You probably can't hear it, but I've added a music, and it says, hey, good looking. What you got cooking? So I don't think you can hear it because you can't hear this one. But yeah, I've added music to this one, and what it does then, it tells people that there's a story, and so cool. So the next story, it could be something else. So that's why I like to, before I post something, what I do now is I like to do at the end of the movie or end of a series, it says tune in next. So every story is like that. And that's how you're going to get interaction that way. And then I can say, hey, I've got something special coming up. Hit my, go to my post to find out where, and click on the website. So you can direct anybody what you want to do with them, but it's like a movie. You've got to control your audience to where you want them to go. You can't expect to sell something to somebody if they're not tuned in to you weekly, kind of thing. And I at the moment, sometimes we do better that with a comm brand. This is my personal brand, so I just kind of like to try a few different things and things how they work. If that makes sense.
That's terrific. That's really clever. And again, it's having that story which is personal. Lets people connect with you and see that you're a real human being. And they say, well, what's he do? Then he goes to comm, and then they know who you are, because firstly they want to know who the people are at comm, and by having that personal Instagram allows them to see that. That's really clever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the personal Instagram. And so we have a company Instagram too, which I'll show you. I mean, this is Joey, my wife. She's got a few more followers than me. And, she got her followers early on when we did some reality TV stuff. And so she is a natural poster. She can post 5 by the time I post 1. Because everything for her in Instagram is like it's like a journal kind of thing. So what she's done is she sticks with themes. So you'll notice on hers, it's about Mama to Boys, Amazing Race Season 1. That was a reality show. Beach and Sunshine. And then she's coach, helping health and fitness pros grow their business at comm marketing. Now this is interesting because that links now to our company page. Okay. So everything that we do is we're looking at. And so a lot of people say, well, I don't want to use Instagram for business. Well, hey, guess what, guys? If you're on any platform and you run a business, that's just the fact of the matter. You can't be on and can't be off. It doesn't work that way. If you're on holidays, it's not like, hey, I'm taking a break for 2 weeks, I'm not working. That's rubbish, because 24/7, if you're running your own business, it doesn't matter if you're working or not, you're still being seen, right? It's not on and off. It's like a movie star. Is that yes, they're not making a movie, but they're still being watched. So the way we look at it is like, okay, who's Joey's avatar? Well, she's going for females. She's going for mothers, right? She's going for people who like sunshine and health and maybe married and maybe have some kids. So people will go, oh, Joey. So I'm going for a different audience here. So now Joey's waving the flag, and every time she posts, she doesn't post to get business, but every time she posts is attention, Steve. And attention means, okay, oh, what's this picture? Early morning bike ride with a few, right? So it's just, okay, she's written in a gratitude diary. Great quote of my goals with this week, right? It's very short posts, you can see. Sometimes she does long posts, right? Moral of the story, talking about getting into shape. Like she does a very good job of that. Again, moral of the story, a long word of the year. So she writes a lot of thanks to Riz. Here we go. This is a personal trainer. So thanks to Riz Fitness, right? So she's adding somebody in. A monk. This is a book that I got for Christmas. She stole it off me, starting to read it, and she added Jay Shetty in. Okay, she doesn't know Jay Shetty or anything like that, but it's added him. Okay, and that's how you kind of build engagement. Every post is about who can I add, who can I tag in. She hasn't tagged anybody there. She could do like Main Beach. So there's a location there. That's what we're talking about for, Steve. So let's say this is a perfect example. Main Beach. There's a picture there. Oh, where's that? It's Main Beach. So I click on Main Beach, right? And then you go to the top. So top means people with the most followers. So I am in Surface here, so you can obviously see a lot of booties and things like that here clearly. But if I go to recent, this is the recent post in that area. Okay, and I think one of those were Joey's. So you can see the recent post 2 hours ago. That was a post. So I can just follow that person now. Oh, who's Gay Merrill King? You see? So this girl here is obviously an influencer. I'm following her. Okay, great, 27,000. So she's doing that to get her brand equity out there. You can see that clearly. This is a dog. So they're not running a business. So you can see the ones that are trying to push out content that way. But this is how you find people straight away. This is how you make friends. This is how you kind of know people. So just you do the location tag. But that's a bit of that. Let me just jump to the stories, and these are stories you can keep in the news feed. Okay, if you want to, they're just stories, and you can create these, and you can categorize them as well. I don't want to move too fast, Steve. So I just want to kind of recap that. Obviously, if you wanted to do a story, you do it that way, like I showed you before, and that's a great feed to look at and make sure that anything you do. A lot of people say, well, what's the point of doing? Sure. I had this question the other day, one of our clients, and they're brand new in business and brand new in business kind of thing, very little, few clients. And they said, I've got this great company page, and it's okay. You know, there's a couple hundred people following it, but her personal page is much more interesting because she talks about what she does. She naturally posts, but she doesn't. But I said to you, you've got to post on this big rule, but get them across to your business. You know what I mean? So don't think that you've got a company page and a personal page. To me, they're the same. People are going to follow people first. People will follow people first. Then if they like you, they'll ask you what you do. It's pretty simple.
I think that we're just going to stop there for a minute. People follow people first, and then they will want to find out what you do. Guys, write that down. People follow people first. So that personalization, finding out, what cup of coffee you like, where you go for your morning walk, Main Beach or wherever it is. They'll like you first and say, what do you do? I think that's a real big takeaway for the mindset of getting this done right. Awesome, Richard.
Yeah, no dramas. So let me just see what I've got some things here, but I think I've just showed you quite a lot of those kind of live. Let me just show you this one here. Now, if you're kind of someone who doesn't want to do videos or stories and doesn't want to show yourself, that's fine, because there's an option here. You can story tell this way. So let's say, so you can write this. I'm either at the gym, number one, about to go to the gym, been thinking about the gym, right? And this is the next slide. Which one are you? The next slide. So you can just write stuff. You don't have to do pictures or do videos if you don't want to. So there's really no excuse to tell stories. You can always tell stories in writing in that way. And I can show you how to get to that process there. But it really, if you're watching this live, guys, it really is so simple to do a story. And that's why I just love doing a story. And you can see my stories now. I just did this. Oh, I thought I posted the one. Maybe I didn't. I thought I posted the one that I just took. No, I did. Where is it? Yep, I just posted this one, and you can see if I click on that, guess what? Let me just share my screen, sorry. If I click on that now, so that was the last picture. As you can see, you can see the very top line, it's going to go across. And as soon as it gets to the next one, it will move to the next story. And here goes that, back on training with impact training, right? And if I click that, that now goes to you. So I'm kudosing you. And that's then people follow this brand here. So it's almost like I did it really big, because what will happen then if people follow me, I'm shouting out to you. Now, if you think about this, like you look at a Kim Kardashian, she would get $1 million to do that right there, right? So you don't have to pay me $1 million, okay? It's all good. But if I was Kim Kardashian, she would give you an invoice for $1 million for that. So when you have followers, guys, it's very powerful and to reconnect. And that's the reason why if you're ever at a gym, at your gym or real estate agent, or you're a plumber, you're a locksmith, and you're at locations, always tag yourself in, because then people understand that you're the person in that gym, or you're the studio, or you're the coffee shop, or you're the consultant that needs to be there, you know? And so I didn't have to do this post, right? But, you know, guess what? People may think, oh, Richard's doing some training. Let me just check it out. So now what I've done, I've flavored in this shot. I've literally got my logo in the back. Isn't that interesting, right? So now we've got brand equity. Oh, that was cute. Oh, what does Richard do? Yeah. So he's going to land somewhere around com or impact or something like that, right? Oh, let me just go to his profile. So that's pretty much what the game is here.
Wow.
You just got to keep it natural, understanding, and know that that's what Instagram's about. Now, you can run ads on this platform, team. You can run ads on this as well, but that's how we do it. Now, my feed over the break, I'll just sort of show you how I done and some hacks I've done, is that over the break, we already had some pre-done things that were planned already. So you can see this one here. This is a video that we did, already edited, and we wrote some content for it. Doubled income in half PT hours. Earlier this year, I met Riz Fitness, and I put some hashtags in there. You can see here, you can do up to 30 hashtags. Hashtags where people are going to find you from, and I can go deep in that if you want to as well. That's a good way for people to find you. These were pre-done, and then I did this one when I was on my break myself. Now, I can guarantee you the ones that are more unique and natural, and like this, got a lot of good engagement here. And guess the other one that got good engagement, this one here. Why? Anything with family, anything with non-work related is going to get more insight. It's simple, yes. Right? This one, I mean, so that's going to outbeat, I guarantee that picture will outbeat anything I put on there, right? Anything. This picture here, outbeat. Why? Me and Joey, it's personal, right? This picture here, outbeat anything I put. You know what I mean? And not to say you have to have some kids to outbeat stuff, but people want to see people. People want to see what you do. And as much as we want to stay on business, we've got to flavor it in too. So what I'm trying to do now, guys, is that I'm doing a more of a personal one. I'm doing something on business. At the end of the day, guys, there's no right or wrong, but you've got to just, I mean, to me, these stories, I love these stories. And so to me, I want to put them on my Facebook because that's what I do. And so I like doing it that way. Some people won't want to do it that way. Joey doesn't do it that way. She just does her personal stuff. So there's no rights or wrongs. I have people that go, oh, wow, that's cool. So it just depends on what you want to do. But I think the most important thing is for you to just get a system going. It could be, I used to do it back in the day. I'll just scroll down for a second so you can see what I used to do. And you can probably, copy this. This is what I used to do back in the day. And you can see here, I did videos in the middle. On the whites were all videos. On the rights, it was all stuff about speaking or business. Okay. And over here, it was more family, personal, stuff like that. So I flavored it that way. You know what I mean? Where I found that was probably the easiest thing for me to get content out that way because I knew what picture I needed at a certain time. It's just a 3-fold feed and it just skips around again. Okay.
Right. Wow. It's question. How much time does it take to think up the idea, or do you just do it spontaneously? Number one. Number two, how much time should someone spend putting something on their Instagram personal or Instagram a business. So firstly, how long did it take, say, Richard, or obviously Joey's very creative. She's a wizard at that. Just comes up, here's a post. But how much time should someone spend a day on doing that?
Yeah, great. I'll just quickly tell you a bigger answer here. So you got two options. I call this the $5, the $50, the $500, and the $5,000. This is what I do every single day, right? I break things up. Is there a $5 task, a $50 task, a $500 task, or a $5,000 task? What you just saw me there with the story that I just shared between you and Darren, I'd call that a $5 task. It was a story, right? Not much will happen from it, right? It's a $5 task, meaning that it's if I do it, I don't do it, it's great. It's worth $5. Where we want to focus our attention is here. $5,000 tasks. I believe that social media, if we plan our social media once a month, right? And that's what we do. We plan our social media once a month. I have a conversation with my head of marketing. You don't have to have a head of anything, really. You can do it yourself. So I would spend 2 hours just on finding images on your phone, right? Grabbing images from your phone. You might have a video you've used in the past. You know, if you're in business, guys, you would have these assets to a degree, right? Or get them. Even half a day to edit it and that kind of stuff. And I would say that once a month for 2 hours, it's a $5,000 task. So it's social media plan. Okay. An hour. I spend 20 minutes and I say, this is what I want, and my team do it. But then if you don't have a team, that's fine. You would sit then. Execution is doing it here once per month. Okay. Then when you get creative, like we just did, it's a $5 task or a $50 task. A feed, if I put it on the feed, it's a $50 task because it's going to stay there forever, right? So I just think you need to look at social media and go, okay, I'm going to spend 2 to 3 hours once a month doing all my social media and have it done, and then I'll schedule it in. Okay? Because I don't think, I'm creative now because, you know, it's kind of like post-holidays a little bit. Maybe I've got a bit more time, so I'm a bit more creative. So you can't, it's like New Year's resolutions. Oh, I'm going to get my Instagram out and I'm going to get this Instagram going. Get the New Year's resolution, then put it in a system 12 times a year, put in your calendar and say, I am going to plan my social media. And then it's simple, Steve. Do this. Do 3 times per week, right? So that's 6, 9, that's 12. 12 posts over the month. 12 posts over the month. 12 posts over the month, once a month, will at least keep you some kind of a consistency. It's like going to the gym, right? You go 3 times. If you want to get a really big body, you got to go 5 times. If you want to be like, huge, go 10 times, right? Same concept. You know, do more, you get more. That's kind of how I'd summarize this.
Oh, what a great way of actually putting it into perspective. Guys, I'm going to get you to scrub back and have a look at that again. $5, $50, $500, $5,000.
5,000.
What Richard does, he spends a couple of hours, if he was going to do it himself, getting all his pictures on his phone, his videos, and say, what are we going to do? Have a little bit of a plan, 3 posts a week. And then we said, right, I'm going to then whack it out there at 12 posts in a month. So can you do that on Instagram? Can you do that on Facebook? The answer is yes, if you want to, but you know, put the time and effort into the big rock activities. Now we're going to wrap it up because you've just, I could just stay here all day because you're just making it sound so doable. I think everyone wants to jump off right now and actually start trying their Instagram. But Darren, have you got a question or two for Richard? I'm sure that your brain's going 100 miles an hour.
It really jumped out at me with the stories you did, Richard, with the extra bits and pieces you put on there, with the tags, with the music, et cetera, et cetera. So can you go back, if you've got time, and just show me where you go on your story to find all of that?
Yeah, for sure.
So you write your content real good with that, and then where do the other options come up from?
Yeah. We are here. So basically, everybody's Instagram might look slightly different, but this is the feed. And so I'm going to my profile on the right. I'm clicking that. There's a plus button. Now I know that some Instagrams look slightly different, but I go plus and I hit story. I don't know if that's on yours. So you go plus and you hit story. Okay. And that's where you get it from here. So I can then insert a picture if I wanted to. There's an enable photos on my iPad. Does that come up with yours, Darren?
Yep. So all the additional stuff, once you, in that example you did before, you wrote the content, and then you went and put all the other bits and pieces on there, the tag, the video, the music, etc. Where are those options? I can't find them on mine.
Yep, let me show you. Okay, so can you see? So basically, here, can you see? You got the plus, right? Is that right, Darren?
Yep, done that. And go story.
Yep, great, story. Yep, great. So you would take this button here. That's a post I've got here. This here, great. And then you got, so use an image. Just got an image there.
Yep.
You got that. And this button at the top here, this one there. So it's this smiley face. That
right.
One. Yep. That's where everything is.
Right.
Here.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome.
So this one here is just changes it. Don't use that. That's to text. Hello. And when you hit done, it goes back.
Yep.
You can put links in there. Swipe up links. Do scribble if you wanted to here. And you just hit done and it always goes back. You always cross it.
Great.
Discard that way. All right.
Thank you.
Hope that helps a bit more. But yeah, it's just the best thing to do is just play around with it. That's really how you get more confident on Instagram, and don't get too serious on yourself initially, because stories can go in 24 hours. So it just makes sense to just work it and find the thing that works for you. With stories, my recommendation is if you can just do one every 24 hours to start, I think that's a good start, because you're always in the newsfeed that way. And it's really very, very, very simple.
Awesome. Well, mate, that was absolutely a fantastic practical session that actually people can go back and scrub through and have a bo peep and seeing, well, how can I create a story in lots of different ways? Now, I'm sure that people are wanting to know more about this. When someone sees something that's been explained by an expert that says, wow, that I can do that. And a great question by Darren to actually go through and push the buttons. How can the people listening and people on replay find a little bit more about how to do stories and Facebook and the Ninja program? I know how good it is because we've done the program, and in the program, it's at the end of the day, what's the easiest way of connecting with yourself to be able to have a bit of a chin wag?
Yeah, well, actually, we've got something special coming up. We've actually got a 21-day program, and I'll have to get you a link. A 21-day program. It starts next week, and it's 21 days to pretty much get your marketing started and moved ahead. And that's a really good way. So basically, there's going to be a maximum of 10 people on this, and it's going to be 3 sessions with myself. You're going to have full access to our team, and it's really just to get things started for you. It's just under $500. It's got CECs accredited as well if you're in the fitness industry, and it's just a huge amount of value. I will find the link and I'll get that across to everybody in the group. And that starts next week, and it's for 21 days. That's probably, if you're serious about kind of like ramping things up for 2021, is the one-time thing. We do it every now and again throughout the year, and we're doing one next week. And I'll send you a link. That's a great way. If not, definitely please reach out to me on Facebook, and we offer also a marketing muscle up for the Impact community, which is a 45-minute session. We cover, basically how you get your brand out and how your brand is perceived currently and how you can fix it up, and then obviously how you can start to generate more leads so then you can sell to them. And see, there's just so many different ways that always change all the time. And this is the reason why it's not a one-time thing. It's a consistent thing to build up like anything. So yeah, if anybody's interested, but I will get you a link for that 21 days if anybody's interested in watching this on replay.
That'd be awesome. That's great. What a great way of kickstarting the year on a 21-day crash course. All right. Well, let's give us the links. And guys, register. What Richard brings to the party, and his team are amazing. Joey and Evelyn and a stack of experts there. They'll be able to fast track some of the 101s and even more the advanced stuff for you. So that's news to me. Let's get that out into the marketplace. The more people to learn that, the better. Well, mate,
Thanks,
absolutely outstanding. What a great practical session on Instagram. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of notes, and I'm going to have to scrub through again to have a look, because repetition is required for me to learn anything. So have a great little bit of a break, as I know you're doing a 50-50 at the moment. You are work-life balance expert, so give my regards to the family, and big hug to Joey, and thanks for joining me and Darren this morning.
Thanks for inviting me on. I really appreciate it always.
All right, gang. Wasn't that mind-blowing? Instagram. I don't even go there, but gee, I should have gone there years ago. Experts always make things sound easy, but with all of the stuff that Richard and Joey do, the proof's in the pudding. Why don't you jump onto Instagram and start following them, see what they're doing. They walk the talk, as you can see. And I'm going to put that link to the 21-day program. I strongly recommend you get involved with anything Com does. They are experts in this field. As you can see, Richard walks and talks it. But I want you guys to put some comments in and say what you're going to do with what Richard has explained. And we always love to know what you're going to do, because action speaks louder than just words. So see you next week. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. J. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.